Are you seeing what I'm seeing? Or am I going mad? What is the meaning of this? It can't be real. This is an illusion. A joke. Tell me we're both seeing the same thing. It's not fair. Why am I cursed to see this again? Why does the memory follow me wherever I go? Wanna know what I think? I think someone's laughing at me. Whoever is responsible, I'm tired of the bullshit. Step forward and answer for yourself, coward!
Godlike of Sapadal, long have we awaited you.
Finally, you've come home.
It's not just me, right? The plants are talking.
Oh my gods. They're alive? How? Where would I even begin?
Giatta Castel, welcome.
Wait, you know me? How do you know me?
For centuries, our whispers filled the silence. Then we heard your mother's call.
My mother? You... heard her?
She reached out to us, using the tool you now carry.
But that would have been years ago. The first time she used the phantasmal focus. The only time she used it.
We heard, and Sapadal answered, saying in a great voice, "We are here. You have found us."
But when Sapadal speaks, the living lands trembles. The voice of a god can be a terrible thing.
No, this can't be. What exactly happened to my parents? Tell me, please. I need to know.
Sapadal wanted to be heard, and in so doing, twisted your family in body and soul, broke them into a more suitable shape.
Sapadal does not know the limits of their strength. Mistakes were made.
Mistakes were made? Do you have any idea what my life has been since your little mistake?
After the incident, your parents were like us, and we took pity, so we helped them move on, as they wanted.
In the end, they thought only of you, their pride, and their love.
That's it. That's really it. The answer I've been searching for all these years. Sapadal destroyed my family. I don't hold you responsible. I don't even know if I hold Sapadal responsible. Your god has the intelligence of a scatterbrained goat. But that isn't their fault. It's simply how they came into being. I know they are. My mother and father would not have wanted this. A good Animancer embraces death. And they were the best.
We are companions, toys, diversions. Sapadal fashioned us out of dreams and memories.
I can't believe it never occurred to me. They're animats. Ancient vessels held together with duty and loyalty. Their design is unusual. Organic, much like the garden itself. Sapadal's work. All this time, your god has been making imaginary friends. Drawing pictures on the walls of their cell. It's almost too sad to imagine. One final question, spirits. What is this? Why are you trying to ruin my life again? Is this your way of haunting me? What is it you want?
Not to be pedantic, but that was 4 questions.
We want to apologize on Sapadal's behalf, and for the part we played in your sorrow.
They want to apologize. I came to the garden for answers, not to offer forgiveness. Was it a mistake? Because no matter where we go, the gods can't stop themselves from hurting us. Our lives are a game to them. Damn it. I can't believe I'm about to say this. Sapadal has been trapped here for millennia. Alone. Confused. Screaming into the void for anyone who will listen. When they heard the voice of a stranger, they overreacted. How can I hold that against you? Apology accepted.
Thank you, Giatta. And thank you, Godlike, for bringing her all this way.
The time has come for you to find your patron, as you were meant to.
Now that you have returned to the garden, Sapadal has everything they need. We will fade, as all things fade. Death is indifferent, not cruel, not merciful, merely inevitable. The pulling of an ancient weed.
We will return to the soil from which we emerged. In time, you will do the same.
A garden is whatever you plant in it.
Sapadal wishes to be understood, as all mortals do. Seen, as all mortals are. What you see is the truth, glimpsed through their eyes, and they wish to share it. May the living lands receive you with open arms. Farewell.
Goodbye. We need to talk about this, but not here.
Give her space, dearie. Giatta will speak more when she's ready.
What is that? I know that place, right? Oh no. No. Why is this? They're dead. Like it just happened. Like I remember.
This is the moment I found you, bundled and crying, while our parents died.
Viate. You're not here. You can't be here.
I am dead, Viate, from the Dream Scourge. We are in the garden. As strange as this seems, it is normal here. Please, Viate. This is where you need to be right now.
I have faced this already. Why force me to do it again? Then for the god's sake, what is it? I am exhausted, Viate. I can't take much more of this.
You know where we are. This is my memory. When everyone died, and I found you back in your tent. How much of this do you remember? I can't tell from your eyes.
We dealt with Razvan. He got what was coming to him.
Good. And when he arrives here, he will have me to deal with. Sapadal wants to understand. They know your envoy very well, but not the people next to them.
I have what I needed. We dealt with Razvan. We avenged our parents' deaths.
Then maybe it was I who needed to speak with my Viate. With a clear mind this time. Even when we were children, you kept me alive, first by needing my protection, and then by being who you turned out to be. When you left Solace, it was like I lost more than my best friend. I lost my need to live.
I know. And I'm not sure I'll ever live that down. I don't think I know how.
It does. Closure. It means that you confronted the past we all hid from you, and you walked away victorious. You've always done everything you could to survive. It's time for you to learn how to live.
So, what do we do now? What? Worse than Ianku's tragic death?
I can't say I loved that part most.
We've both been through so much. But I can see that it's all behind us now. Just another thing we've survived after all this time.
A fine way to put it. More like tolerate, in my case, but... right.
See what I put up with, Envoy? Still wonder why I left Solace?
Get out of here. Hike up your waistline and go talk to a god. They'll be waiting.
Well, it was... good to see you, Giatta. Even with all this.
Take care of my little friend, Envoy. He needs you more than he'll say.
Wait. Isn't that Tama's cairn? Oh dear.
This room, it looks just like Tama's. Tama. No. No. I dealt with this. We stood at his memorial together. What is this, Envoy? This is your god's prison, not mine. I can't tell. I can't focus on his face. His features keep blurring, changing. As long as we're both seeing the floating islands and the ghostly tree, I can't blame this on drugs. To be honest, that would be easier. I know it's him, but I don't recognize him as the Tama I knew. It's like he keeps changing in front of me. Does that make sense? That's the problem. I don't know what I expect anymore. I used to remember his face so clearly from that night. His rigid jaw, the way his eyes crinkled at the corners. He was in pain, but trying to hide it. I see everything. All his moments at once. Joy, sadness, anger, heartbreak, stomachache. Everything from the handful of years that I knew him and the decades before we'd met. He's almost a stranger. Yeah, it is. All this time I kept him frozen in his worst moment. When he was suffering and when I failed him. But now that I see him as more, it's like he's free of that. Yeah. I never realized what an injustice I was doing to us both. You're right. I am. It's like you said. His memory is no longer a burden. For the longest, I was afraid to let go of this moment, like I'd be letting him go if I did. Now I see I was just holding on to something that was weighing us both down. Me too. I never thought I'd meet someone I respect the way I respected Tama. But you've made some tough calls, and you've kept your head and your heart in the right place. So whatever comes next, I'm with you until the end. Now let's go find this god of yours and end the Dream Scourge. When we reach them, what do you think we'll find? A victim? A villain? True enough. Let's end this. I'll follow your lead, as always.
This place feels familiar. Hurry, let's go inside. This looks like the Akita building this place. Clearly they wanted their story preserved, no matter the cost. Garlawain's gonads. Look! It's even the same hearth from my dream. And that's the chair. It's the picture of coziness. I do love your idea of hiding out, Envoy. Finally, you've arrived. Ah, there it smells. That took 10 years off my life. Wait. You must be the librarian from my dreams. Oh, it's a pleasure to finally meet you. Oh, though, you do look quite familiar.
The resemblance is uncanny.
It has been quite some time. Too many years to number. Of course. You are an ancestor? A very fashionable one at that. No, child. We are the keeper of these tablets. Or have you already forgotten? Oh, of course. I was you in a past life. Oh, I'm such a fool. You lived with animancers, and yet the idea of awakening to your past lives never entered your mind.
Few can bear the mental and spiritual strain of an awakening. As often as not, it leads to madness.
Oh, darling, you know how I get around all the metaphysical talk.
That's why I'm here, remember?
I was the last of the Akita. Once the attack started, a few of us were charged with preserving as much of our history as we could. So, we retreated with as much as we could carry. The attacks? You must mean the Magfolk attacks. Yes, we've heard. Is that the reason for the bodies outside? Yes. Your monstrous gods, who bought their divinity with blood and the souls of their faithful. They tried to butcher every last one of us. Yes. There was little else I could do. I'm a scholar, not a fighter. A lesson I'm glad you learned. But how did the Magfolk reach you in here? They didn't. Between the screams of my kin being slaughtered and the screeching of the Magfolk, I couldn't breathe. That's the screeching I heard in my dream, Envoy. I knew I recognized it when we killed that Magfolk. Once it was gone, there was nothing left. And perversely, I found the quiet worse. So I decided on another way. One that wouldn't give your gods the satisfaction. Poison? Well, at least you washed it down with some good wine. It really speaks to her dedication. Our dedication. Yatzli, you know what you must do now. I abandoned my duty to protect our history, but you... Someone must tell the story of the Akita, and there is no one else. I'm already an expert. What more do you want me to do? Oh, think about it, Yatzli. You have been training to be the new protector of this collection since childhood. I couldn't ask for a better successor. But that was your duty. I have my own dreams. Yatzli, if you do not become the new librarian, there will be no other. The stories of the Akita will turn to dust, and my people, our people, will be forgotten. Just as the burned queen wanted all along, when she sent her magfolk to choke the life from us. This is all too much. What do you think, Envoy? You're no help at all. Please, I ask for your opinion because I want it. Tell me, what do you think? That apprenticeship is more than I could have ever asked for. I don't know. That's hard to ignore. The chosen of Sapadal, yet you do not stand with your people. How disappointing. Our time is at an end, Yatzli. It's time for me to go. Wait! I've not even asked you any questions! Tell me about your marriage rites. Oh, did you mean for all your buildings to look so phallic? Unfortunately, my time is at an end. You must keep Yatzli alive. She is the last hope of the Akita. So this is goodbye. I wish we could have... No. I wish that all of you had a better ending. She's gone. Forgive me, Envoy, but we should get going. We can talk back in camp. Later. This place seems less like a death trap. Maybe we could stop, catch our breath.
There's always a weird sort of quiet on the eve of battle. I'm feeling that now. Seems like a good time to gather our thoughts and share a drink before whatever's coming.
Right. This seems like a perfect place to stop and relax.
Though it's hard enough to tell what's real here without a belly full of drink.
Sounds like you're nervous, dearie.
I'm feeling all kinds of ways. Anxious, excited, scared, hungry.
I feel it as well. It is only mortal to feel overwhelmed in the presence of the immortal.
Oh, you don't have to worry about me. Getting to see that vision of Tama did me good. Like, I finally let go of something I'd been holding too long. Now that we're here, I'm eager to see this through. Nothing worse than holding your breath and waiting. I can't say that I'm prepared, but I'm ready.
I had a feeling you might ask me that. I'm not sure I've really worked through what I've seen here, but I am grateful for the chance to see Yonko again. I feel like we're almost done with all of this, but we are in the weirdest place in the world, so who knows? I'm completely baffled. But when haven't I been lately? Being afraid doesn't even feel scary anymore.
I think so. The garden is so much more than I expected. Full of contradictions. Wild, yet serene. Truthfully, I didn't come all this way searching for my own answers. But I found them. Or perhaps they found me. And now, it's like there's a new path laid out before me. A life after the Dream Scourge. We're close to something. A threshold between calm and crisis. Conflict and peace. Life and death. So am I. None of us could have gotten this far on our own.
Well, I won't lie to you, Envoy. A lot's happened. It's not every day that you learn that you're the last hope to carry on a legacy, but... well, here we are. Never literally talked to myself before either. I think I annoyed her. Me? Oh, I think I need another drink. But here we are. I just need a moment to take it all in. Thank you, dearie. I'll be ready by the time the fun starts. And I wouldn't worry. Our little group here is perfectly frightening, and I'm sure our enemies would agree. We'll be fine. I can't speak for anyone else, though.
You've listened to all of us. How about you? You've been through a lot since you arrived. You've been shipwrecked and assassinated, harangued by gods, bureaucrats, and a death guard. You've had your soul poked, your loyalties questioned, and your sleep regularly interrupted by a god with no respect for privacy. And yet you've kept yourself and all of us together. How are you really doing?
Under the circumstances, that's entirely reasonable.
Join the club.
I'd been more concerned if you weren't scared. Did you think we'd judge you for that? I'm the least judgmental person I know.
None of us thought this would be easy. For you, most of all. We've survived our own hardships. Now we'll survive yours.
When we first met, I didn't think you'd last long. But then I saw how you handled that dream thrall bear. Shook off your own death like a bad cold. And then you confronted your own killer and let him go. It takes a special kind of strength to stay your hand in a moment like that.
I didn't know much about you at that point. You were traveling with Kai and you died, which I thought made a lot of sense.
I remember your calm. How you listened to my shouting match with the governor and actually heard me. And when they burned my home, you gave me another one. A sanctuary where I could be myself. I'll never forget that.
You were my hero right away. You rescued me from those sporelings. You got my priceless face. What more could a girl ask for?
And now look at you. Look at us. How far we've come in a short time. Quite a lot, as it turns out. But the journey is worth it.
Not to raise the sails before the anchor, but we left trouble in our wake. Fjord, Thirdborn, Solace. If we make it out of here, it won't be to a living lands suddenly at peace.
Just this once. Could we forget about the rest of the living lands? Some of us could use a break.
If we can't take a moment to ourselves on a floating island outside reality, then I don't know where we can.
Don't think I haven't considered it. But our problems won't just go away on their own.
Stay here? I mean, we are here. It's supposed to be paradise. Can't be worse than Galawain's tusks.
Tempting as it sounds, if there's one thing I've learned from you, it's that running from problems only lets them fester.
Unfortunately, you are uniquely qualified to deal with this, so we're stuck fixing things. Dread.
Before we turn in for the night, I'd like a word in private. Nothing serious, just planning out the rest of my life.
Sleep well. Tomorrow we finish this.